Guru Wrestling Talk on Ustream. We're here at GOG for Life on Twitter. If you don't know who we are, we make YouTube videos at youtube.com/gurusgreatness, and also on Facebook, facebook.com/thegurusofgreatness. Justin, the man with the plan, here with Ace the Wrestling Nut. How you doing, Ace?
I'm doing pretty darn good. Leafs are losing right now, but I guess that doesn't really matter. They're going to turn them around.
It doesn't matter, Ace, because it's hockey.
No, hockey matters.
Oh, okay.
Nah.
Kind of like TNA. And we have our special guest here tonight from the Legendary Shooters, the Chris Phoenix. How you doing, Chris?
I'm doing good, Justin. Thanks for letting me be here on the show. It was good being here.
Of course. All right, guys, let's get into it. This past week, we had Raw, and the Muppets were there on Halloween, and we had The Rock there on tape or whatnot with the pre-recorded message. First, look, I made a video earlier this week. If you haven't seen it, it's on my channel. It's called F the Muppets. And I made a video basically stating that the Muppets shouldn't be on Raw. Now, and the video itself, I guess, it got kind of popular. Not too popular, though, but got a little bit over 800 views. Now, I just want to state this. Now, the purpose for my video is saying that the Muppets should not be in professional wrestling, okay? Myself, I like the Muppets. I really do like the Muppets. I just don't think they should be in professional wrestling. In the annals of time in wrestling histories, in the 50s, in the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, we have not had puppets on a wrestling show. Now, a lot of people say, well, we have special guest hosts, but here's the difference between the special guest hosts and the Muppets. The special guest hosts are human beings. They can talk. The Muppets cannot talk. And we're supposed to have the reality era. You know, like Triple H got hit in a sledgehammer the week prior. Then the next week I have the Muppets on Raw. It doesn't give WWE any credibility. Now, I just wanted to rant on that real quick because a lot of people want to, you know, bash me for my video for that. The Muppets, they're not human beings. Now, I'll go off record. I watched Raw. The Muppets themselves weren't that bad. And I actually kind of found some of their parts amusing. But you still cannot cover up the fact. You can't vouch the fact that the Muppets, who are not human beings, should be on a professional wrestling program, and we're supposed to believe that your product is real. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, well, at the end of the day, though, really, you know, I would agree with you on the part where, like you said, it is entertaining to some extent, but it's not needed. The other thing, and probably the main reason I think they did do this was, you know, let's put some money in our pocket. It's probably not going to hurt. It's like a two-way publicity, you know. People who go watch wrestling, who watch the Muppets, watch that, and then people who watch wrestling, who might not know that the Muppets have a movie are coming out, maybe they'll go see it now and be like, oh yeah, because they're on Raw. So, like you said, how I do agree that it's stupid. You know, it was really just for money and for viewership, but it does integrize the WWE product. But at the end of the day, WWE has done a lot of stupid shit to, you know, degrade their product. But this, I didn't think the Muppets were necessary. From a financial standpoint, it was smart, but, you know, from a product standpoint, it kind of just makes it look, oh yeah, this is just that fake crap. You know, they were turning it around with this Punk angle, and I was like, oh yeah, it's just that little childish fake crap. So.
Yeah, Ace, like you said, you know, it's all about the money, and that's what Vince loves. Vince loves the money. That's the whole thing. And, you know, the fact is, you know, I understand where Justin's going with the part, like, oh yeah, it's the Muppets, you know, they're puppets, you know, they're not supposed to be in freaking professional wrestling on television. I understand we're saying that. But remember, you know, this isn't world wrestling. How many times has this been shoved down our throats?
But here's the thing, though.
And the rest of WWE, it's entertainment. World Wrestling Entertainment. They're about entertainment.
And I do completely agree with you on that, but let's look at the key word there, wrestling. They're going to be a wrestling company to the day they die, and they cannot escape the fact. So okay, if it's not wrestling, I understand it's entertainment. They're more entertainment than wrestling. I do get that. But if it's not wrestling, then why in the hell are we having wrestling matches then? Shouldn't just John Cena and, you know, Alberto Rio talk about their problems in the ring then? shouldn't CM Punk and Triple H just talk about their problems in the ring then? And just, have a little tea and biscuits to solve their problems? No, it's fucking wrestling. It's professional wrestling.
Yeah, the ring is the ring distincts it from being a soap opera, right? I mean,
exactly. That's what distincts it being a male soap opera, basically, right there.
Putting the ring there is like putting the male on top of the word soap opera, right?
All right, well, that's just. I want to get off that now because I ranted about it a lot in my video already. But just the point, I just wanted to say that the Muppets are not professional wrestling. They should be on a professional wrestling program. But I do enjoy the Muppets. I love the Muppet Babies. I grew up watching them. But let's go and talk about Raw. Raw did kick off with The Rock, and The Rock basically saying that, long story short, about after a 55-minute promo, just kidding, that. That he will be John Cena's partner at Survivor Series. Now, this kind of seemed a little bit anticlimactic. Now, what I mean by this, I'm happy for The Rock. I like to see The Rock. I love to see The Rock at Survivor Series wrestle. You know what I mean? But did it seem kind of anticlimactic, the actual video that he made, the pre-recorded video? Does it seem a little bit anticlimactic a little bit?
Yeah. I mean, it's not just the fact... it's just anticlimactic. It's just like, I swear WWE at times, and I think I've heard some people already say this, that they kind of test our, stupidity, our brains, our knowledge.
Yeah, exactly.
Because they were shoving it down our throats. I'm sure WWE already knew that us internet fans, we already heard about it about months ago type of deal. Now it's like, okay, they've been pumping out of the crap out of this thing for 2 weeks now. Oh, The Rock. Is going to come back, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, what was the only selling point of Survivor Series a couple months ago? Oh, The Rock's going to be wrestling his first match in 7 years, and he's going to be teaming with John Cena. Never before.
Never again.
That was the big selling point of Survivor Series. And then it's like, and then Cena's like, wait, so I can pick anybody I want? I can fight anybody?
Yeah.
Like, team with anybody? So it's just like, I'm not... Yeah, like the way, I'm glad to see The Rock's back. I just think the way they did it was just sort of like a little jab to us and being like, we can still do what we want, right?
Now here's the only thing. That I would like to argue with you guys about. Now, of course, we hardcore wrestling fans, YWC wrestling fans, IWC. If you're part of the IWC, we already knew that The Rock was going to come back since late August, September. But when did WWE ever advertised it on air? They didn't.
Yeah, but don't forget, you had the they didn't make a big promo for all the people in the arena, but all on the TV, not on the TV. That sounds stupid, but all the announcers would shut down and go, "Oh, don't forget to buy Survivor Series. The Rock will be there." Oh, well, The Rock's going to be there. They still. They didn't announce it very, 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 very much. It's like, Rock's going to be on Survivor Series. Oh, this match between Dolph Ziggler and Jack Swagger remind me that The Rock's going to be... They didn't do that. It was... They announced it. The announcers would say, oh, The Rock will be stepping in the ring for the first time in 7 years. Yada, yada, yada. And they'll be...
Well, yeah, they mentioned the fact... Go ahead.
And not just that, but also the fact that, okay, they would have a commercial or something, like they're advertising something. It's like, oh, we have Twix or something. They don't say Twix. And it's like, okay. And then they show, The Rock and John Cena right next to each other and stuff. And then they show the poster.
But you know what, though?
They keep showing us The Rock. The Rock's coming back at Survivor Series.
They finally acknowledged
they were making it more and more obvious type of deal.
They finally acknowledged that at Hell in a Cell. They finally acknowledged that at Hell in a Cell. Oh, no, I'm sorry, not at Hell in a Cell. I believe at Vengeance. I'm sorry. At Vengeance, they finally... Yeah, my bad. At a Vengeance. They finally acknowledged it at Vengeance. You got Vengeance and Hell in a Cell. They're, right next to each other. I don't know what the hell's in order anymore with WWE, but at Vengeance. I should have known that because it was in San Antonio, my hometown, but that's another story. But, I'm glad for The Rock, and I want to see The Rock in the ring, but... I don't know. They should... I don't know if it's just me, but I thought I just wish that The Rock only had the one match against John Cena, and it felt better that way. Do you think this kind of hurts the John Cena? Now, I'm not saying that it is, by the way. I'm just saying for argument's sake. Do you think that with The Rock coming back a little bit early may hurt the build-up for John Cena and The Rock at WrestleMania? I'm going to go off a limb and say no, but there's some people out there that do believe that.
I could see the argument for it, because, I mean, Justin, you're a big WCW fan. How many matches did Sting wrestle in his big build up to Hogan at Starrcade '97?
He didn't wrestle nothing. He just came in the ring, did Scorpion dead drops and comes from the Raptors. He didn't really wrestle a match at all.
Exactly. And did you, as a fan at that time, did it ruin it for you? I guess him not wrestling, but if you would saw Sting maybe wrestle a Kevin Nash or something, in your mind, would that have devalued his match at Starrcade?
Well, I can't say that, yes or no, because at the time I was 9 watching that, so...
we're trying to look at it from a casual fan's point of view, because we're only the 10%ers.
Well, if I was 9 years old at the time, which I was, then no, because I was 9. But if I was older, if I was today, I'd be like, okay, why are you going to have Sting wrestle Kevin Nash? He's after Hogan. He's not after Nash. You know what I mean? And plus, as well, Sting, if you look back at those clips back in the day, Sting was taking out the NWO by itself. He was taking like 7 guys at one time. So...
Yeah, it's just the build-up comparison, but the thing is, I guess Rock mentioned that he had a rivalry with Miz around WrestleMania time, but, the way they brought I'm glad to see Rock back in the ring, but the way they brought him in just felt so weird. I need help taking out these guys, Rock, so can you wrestle with me? But then at the end of the fucking show, Super Cena comes in and he takes them out by himself. So that totally defeats the purpose of why he needs The Rock. Why does John Cena need The Rock to take down The Miz and R-Truth if on Raw he clearly laid both of them out?
And it's not just that either. It's just the fact that also I think is that, Justin, you just asked the question about, does this hurt, the rivalry? Does it hurt the, feud leading up to WrestleMania? I can see where it kind of does and everything, because you got to think of, look, we get to see The Rock wrestle before WrestleMania. I didn't even see that or something.
And the thing is, if someone...
This is good, though, because, obviously, The Rock, he hasn't wrestled in 7 years. He's probably going to have some ring rust, first of all. Second of all, it's just, okay, you kind of ask yourself the question, how are these guys going to work together since they don't like each other? And also the fact that The Rock still has some heat with The Miz, even though he gets...
To book it right, too, it could even get us more psyched for WrestleMania.
Exactly, because all we know is that, John Cena looks like he's about to put, The Miz or R-Truth away. I don't know where The Rock hits him with the rock bottom, screws him out of the match or something.
Or vice versa, The Rock's about to hit the people's elbow and Cena has...
We could see either way, and that just makes it a little bit more interesting, more entertaining into the match.
Alright, well, that was good talk about Rock and Cena. We'll get back to that in just a moment. But let's talk about CM Punk and Alberto Rio. Their match was pretty much solidified on Raw. CM Punk, basically CM Punk got a match out of Alberto Rio by putting the Anaconda Vice. He put it on Ricardo Rodriguez, right?
No, he put it on Alberto Rio.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, he put it on Alberto Rio.
Wasn't there.
Okay, yeah. He put it on, yeah. Then basically, he's like, oh yeah, I'll do the match. Pretty much. This kind of reminds me of, this has been done before, by the way. This kind of reminds me of Mick Foley was about to break Shane McMahon's arm, I believe, in 98, 99, he was trying to get a match against The Rock. I think it was for Royal Rumble or something like that, and The Rock finally accepted the challenge or something like that. But yeah, what do you guys think of CM Punk? Everybody's favorite wrestler today, CM Punk, finally getting his rematch.
I like he is getting a title match, and it does move Cena away from the title picture, and it's a different feud, and it's good that he's being showcased. I just didn't like the way that this was all, if you can get Alberto Del Rio to agree with you, it's like, okay, even if, you gotta make it look like, okay, well, if CM Punk's attacking Del Rio, wouldn't somebody come out and be like, oh, what's up, do a little breakup?
Well, but who would come out there? Who does Alberto, with the exception of John Laurinaitis, who does Alberto Rio?
Like security, maybe? Or?
No, Ace, they're not gonna have security come out there.
For me, I thought this match would have been maybe saved or something to WrestleMania, but You know, I think it's good because, okay, like Ace mentioned, you know, you don't have John Cena in the main event, and obviously on the SmackDown side, you don't have Randy Orton in the main event, so it's like the first time in a while we won't have Orton or Cena kind of the main event world title picture. But, you know, I think itself that it's been presented so far, it's like, for some reason, it feels more of a CM, this might just sound like me, more of a CM Punk and John Laurinaitis feud than a Alberto Del Rio.
Yeah, well, Del Rio's been thrown into every feud, right? It feels like.
Yeah, you know, it's just, you know, she's a match at Survivor Series was good. It's just that it just seems like they're just like popping this out of the question, saying, okay, the fans want CM Punk. Let's have him and Del Rio go at it.
No, well, no, it's not necessarily that, but it's like who does WWE can rely on as a face on the Raw brand, with the exception of John Cena, it's CM Punk.
Zack Ryder, baby, woo,
woo, woo, woo, woo. We'll get to him in just a second, but that's WWE's lack of build of stars. If you take a look at the last year and a half, look at all the guys that they built up for SmackDown and Raw, and that could have been stars today. And I think I already said this already, but Dolph Ziggler, he was there. You know, you had Evan Bourne. He was at the Money in the Bank ladder match last year. Everybody was behind Evan Bourne. Yeah, I mean, you look at guys like Kofi Kingston. He could have been a main eventer. You know, he looks.
You could have had Drew McIntyre in there.
Exactly, Drew McIntyre, Jack
Wade Barrett on the SmackDown. You could have
Wade Barrett. Those are 6 guys right there, 6 young talents that you tried to build within the past year and a half. Not necessarily failed, but you didn't complete the build. That is lack of stars in WWE right now, and that's why WWE is in the position that they're in as far as stars and talent. Now, let's go and get into the Divas match real quick. With Divas Battle Royal. Okay, I don't get this at all. You have Alicia Fox win last Monday. Do you have Alicia Fox win on SmackDown? But Eve Torres is your new #1 contender. I don't understand. I don't understand the lack of logic in the Divas division right now. Whoever's booking this, but can somebody please explain to me? Now I know I'm an Alicia Fox fan, but can somebody please explain to me the logic of WWE putting Eve Torres as the #1 contender when you just had Alicia Fox win 2 times in a row against Natalya?
I think like they gotta give it to somebody. Okay. How many? Okay, we just came off of. It feels like just recently came off of Beth Phoenix, Kelly Kelly, Beth Phoenix, Kelly Kelly, Beth Phoenix, Kelly Kelly. You know, they're like, okay, we can't give it to Kelly Kelly again because I'm sure the fans will get so sick and tired of it, and we are kind of tired of it. So we can, okay, what's the closest we can get to Kelly Kelly? Oh, I know, Eve Torres. It's someone technically different. Sure, it's around the same, you know, range or the same area and talent, but yeah, let's put Eve in there. But I understand what you're saying. It doesn't make sense, right? It's like you're giving her, in some way, a kind of a push for Alicia Fox, but here's Eve Torres.
But what's the point of having Alicia? Now Alicia Fox, she is going to get her title shot down the road. I can see that. But what's the point of making Alicia Fox win now, having the crowd behind her? She's obviously a babyface.
Maybe it's just to build her up for when she finally does get a title match. Because, I mean, she has been heel, I think, for pretty much.
Yeah.
Her whole career, yeah, pretty much.
And this might be a weird comparison, but, you know, I know we only talk about TNA, but I guess you could say this like a TNA type of way. Because remember, when they were building up Velvet Sky for a while, but they didn't immediately make her #1 contender. They were just building her up for months and months and months until they finally gave her a title shot type of thing. I think that's what they might be doing.
And I mean, I know most people don't really care too much about the Divas, but it will mean more if she finally does win a title or finally does get a title match.
Do you think that WWE is trying to put? I'm not saying like the next Lita, the next Trish Stratus, the next Mickie James, but do you think that WWE will probably make Alicia Fox one of the new top divas in WWE, with the exception of, you know, of a Eve Torres, of a Kelly Kelly? Or do you think that Alicia Fox will have, like, a mediocre title run if she does get the title back?
Kind of like your first one? I don't know. I think it's going to be something we'll just have to wait and see, but, like...
Well, it's a possibility, but don't forget, guys, I mean, we still got, what? Karma might be coming back in a few months after she's done delivering her baby, so...
Hey, she's still pregnant?
Yeah, but
I just saw a recent picture of her, and you can't tell.
Wow, Justin, you need to go to hell for that.
I guess I'm gonna get karma for that now. No, seriously.
Ladies and gentlemen, the corniest joke of the year.
Really, you're just the punniest guy in this fucking...
Okay, why just go join the Bella Twins? You might as well make a freaking fun of it.
Oh, well, no. Well, the Bella Twins, they just can't wrestle, so they don't, you know, I don't...
No, they're chain wrestlers.
They're twins! Oh,
Twin magic! Well, anyway, yeah, the Divas division right now, I'm just confused, but y'all guys, you made some good points in that. Now, before we do take our first break, I just want to touch base on WWE's buy rates this year for this year. Now, well, actually, their buy rate and guys, let me ask y'all guys a quick question. Do you think WWE this year, their pay-per-views and their actual overall product is better than last year's?
I think pay-per-view quality-wise, yes, but clearly the buy rates don't show it. I mean, Money in the Bank was up, WrestleMania was up, but didn't you say SummerSlam was down, Justin?
SummerSlam. Okay, look, WrestleMania. I didn't get the actual complete number on. I'm assuming WrestleMania was up this year because of The Rock.
WrestleMania was with Snooki, with The Rock.
Snooki, The Rock, yes, host.
Yeah, I'm assuming that they're up. But, okay, well, Capital Punishment, yeah. Over the Limit was down. Extreme Rules was down. You know, and this year with Money in the Bank, Money in the Bank was up. The Vengeance numbers haven't came out yet. The Money in the Bank was up. You had 195,000 buys versus in 2010, 165,000 buys. SummerSlam this year, 296,000 buys to 350. Now, SummerSlam, this show was a pretty damn good show.
Yes, but don't forget, on paper, like, cause I mean, if you're a casual fan and you're gonna buy what looks good on paper. You're not gonna buy what is gonna be a great card.
No, and that's the point. And that's the point I'm gonna get to in just a second. You had
that was SummerSlam's, or I guess WWE's fault for not announcing most of their matches on SummerSlam.
Exactly. They only had 3 or 4 matches entering.
Exactly. And Night Champions was slightly down this year, but it was still down 161,000 buys compared to 165,000 buys. Now, the point I'm going to get into real quick is that for this year's buy rates for WWE, the reason why you can't just throw the name out there, Money in the Bank. You can't just throw the name out there, SummerSlam. You can't just throw the name out there, WrestleMania. People are not going to buy the product just based on name recognition. They need to know what matches are going to be having. They need to know who's going to be there. And they're going to need to know what type of special matches there are. Like, for instance, SummerSlam, WrestleMania, they're going to buy off the name alone. But, like, for instance, Money in the Bank, if you're a casual wrestling fan, you don't know what Money in the Bank is. Basically, I thought WWE built up Money in the Bank tremendously. Look how they built up Money in the Bank. Just a couple weeks out, you already had Big Show and Mark Henry, CM Punk and John Cena, Randy Orton and Christian, the 2 Money in the Bank ladder matches. You know? Then, if you look at Night of Champions, we had, Triple H versus CM Punk. We had, what was the, I believe it was Alberto Rio versus, John Cena. Then,
and they didn't really do that well.
Build that match because they were too busy building up Triple H.
Exactly, and that was the thing about WWE back in 1998-99. Huge. Okay, look. For instance, Survivor Series. Okay, at Survivor Series, they need to make TLC that night. I know they don't do that, but that's what they used to do back in the day. Make TLC that night. Announce matches the Raw after. After Survivor Series. I guarantee you, the week before TLC, they're still going to be announcing matches. They're still going to be like, this match is going to be this Sunday. People are not going to get invested into that. At all. So, I don't know about you guys, but WWE, they need to find a better approach for their pay-per-view business. Now,
One quick thing also is, I think Survivor Series buy rates might go up just because, The Rock and Cena, and it's Survivor Series.
And Madison Square Garden, too.
Into Madison Square Garden, exactly. So.
Yeah, Survivor Series will be up.
Oh yeah, Survivor Series should be up from last year because last year's Survivor Series was piss poor.
Way better than Randy Orton. Yeah, John Cena's the referee.
Oh god, the cover to that DVD really pisses me off. Dude, you just see John Cena in the middle. He's all like, "What should I do? Am I gonna turn heel? Of course not. I'm John Cena."
John Cena's turning heel, guys. He's gonna save his job.
But all right, guys. Well, we went in hand and talked about WWE. Next, when we do come back on Go Wrestling Talk Issue, we will talk about TNA, Robert Roode's title win this past Thursday, and also WWE's talent that was released a few months ago. Someone might go to TNA, and we'll talk about who may go to TNA. We're gonna take a 5-minute timeout. We'll be back on Guru Wrestling Talk. And guys, we are back on Guru Wrestling Talk on Ustream, Facebook.com/The Gurus of Greatness. Add us on there, Twitter @GOG for live, and YouTube/The Gurus of Greatness. And please follow us on Twitter and on Facebook as well, where extra perks from the Gurus of Greatness will come to you soon. We're working on something. I can assure you that. I think. But anyway, we're back, and let's get into our second segment here. Just out of the timeout, we're decided to discuss on TNA, and Robert Roode win the title on Impact Thursday from James Storm. Robert Roode turned heel, which I did predict. And actually, Chris Banks predicted that, by the way, as well. Me and him, we both predicted.
Yeah.
Me and him both predicted. Everybody's like, no, Robert Roode, he's got to be the face. And I was like, no, Robert Roode won't be the face. Okay, he's going to be frustrated. He's going to be like, it took me 13 years to get to a world title match. It took me 13 years, and it only took you 2 seconds to beat Kurt Angle. I think, and that's what I thought the storyline was going to be about. But anyway, guys, your thoughts on Robert Roode's win of the TNA title on Impact?
I could tell that eventually, yes, he would be turning heel. The only thing was, it felt kind of rushed, like he just turned heel right away. I didn't really like that. And I think they blew their load too early, and they could have had a decent program. I mean, okay, if you're going to play this whole frustrated, it took me 13 years angle, why wouldn't James Storm beat him, and then he's even more frustrated, so he has to finally use a beer bottle on him and beat him, right? Like,
well, you know what, TNA, they work 100 million miles an hour. Instead of having a 4-month storyline, they'll condense it down to 2 weeks. That's what TNA, unless if you're Jeff Jarrett and Kurt Angle.
The thing is that with TNA, okay, they could have had this going on to like Genesis or something. You know, they could have had, I believe, Turning Point's their next pay-per-view of TNA's, and you know they could have had it. Okay, Bobby Roode, by this time he's still a face. Oh, he gets so close but so far away, type of thing. Just like a friend.
Yes.
Matchup in here. Then it kind of heats up a bit at Final Resolution paper, and then they could have had Bobby Roode be like Bobby Roode say, "Screw this! I'm just going to turn heel. I got to win the dirty way," and he's going to turn heel then, and then win it at Genesis. But no, they decided to rush it way too damn quick. And don't get me wrong, I'm sure there's still going to be a good feud or whatever, and they're going to put on good matches. It's just they just could have made this a little bit longer than what it actually was, and it's kind of
actually means something, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to me, TNA, they need to find something right now. Okay? They need to find something that sticks out from WWE. And right now, honestly, it's not to say that Impact's a bad show, because it's a good show, Impact. I mean, and I do like Impact, I really do. But it's just like at times it's a chore to watch. And what I mean by that is I don't care on what happens with some of these matches and some of these...
Well, Ace, I think one of the reasons why you might enjoy Impact more is because you never know what you're going to expect. Because sometimes at times TNA, they give away free stuff that could be on a pay-per-view.
Yeah, that's true too. Maybe that's why the television show is more enjoyable. And maybe that's what they want, but at the end of the day, that's not what you should want. You should want buy rates, and that's something that even since WCW, they've never been able to get through their head, guys like Bischoff. And I mean, Justin once again can vouch for WCW. Look at Goldberg's title win in 1998.
Well, speaking of buy rates, it's not really exact buy rates. It was a rating from this past week on Spike TV. TNA Impact Wrestling, their rating went up. They drew a 1.27 rating, which was up from last week from the 1.14, which is obviously being slated from the MLB World Series Game 6, Texas versus the Cardinals.
That was a good game. I love that game. That was a good game.
That was a horrible outcome, though.
That was one of the best baseball games I've seen in years.
It was one of the best baseball games, but the wrong team won! I'm sorry, this is a wrestling show.
But this is a wrestling show.
Alright, but Impact, like I said, good wrestling. I mean, the wrestling and Impact is good, but it's like, I don't know what it is. It's something about Impact that draws me away. The presentation of the show is good. I think it's the commentary. I really do. And I know I say this before a lot of times. Taz is Taz. Taz sounds all vibrant. He has life to it. But every time I hear Mike Tenay, I seriously think he's like at his house or his apartment, wherever he lives at, and he's recording it. And he's all like, "Yeah, Taz, what a drop kick." He doesn't put no emotion to his commentary. I mean, I don't know if I'm the only one that notices that, but Mike Tenay...
No, you're not the only one.
I cannot stand Mike Tenay. He was good in WCW. He could chip in his little shots here and there.
This is what I wish they had Mike Tenay take out and have Don West, but they'd rather have Don West selling their products than that.
Oh God, I don't know who's worse.
Back in WCW though, Mike Tenay wasn't play-by-play. He was the guy that, like you said, would just put his little comments in, because Tony Giovanni would be like, "Hulk Hogan in NWO is a prick," right? And then
he was like the Josh Matthews of WCW.
Yeah, and then Mike Tenay would be like, "Yeah, I know what you mean." But now with Mike Tenay being the one that goes, "Oh, Hulk Hogan's a prick," it sounds all fucky.
Yeah, it sounds fucky ducky quack quack actually.
And Justin, what you were saying too about that.
Yes.
Okay, the wrestling is good, and I agree with you. I said this before. I said this on my own personal account. That this is a good roster. This roster is filled with talent.
Oh yes,
it's just the
definitely.
way they present the talent with storylines is just messed up and just wants to draw you away.
Yes, absolutely. And you hit the nail on the head. Speaking of talent, this brings me to the next point here, where WWE they released wrestlers, superstars, whatever you want to call them, talents, a couple months ago. And they are now free to sign to TNA. Now, before they could have, independent bookings. But now, since their 90-day clause is up, they can now sign to TNA. Let me read off the names here, guys, and you tell me if they are going to join TNA Wrestling. First name on the list I have here is David Hart Smith, aka what was the WWE name again? David Hart Smith?
David Hart Smith.
His real name's Harry Smith.
Harry Smith.
But I don't, for some reason, I don't see him going to TNA. I see him working in Independence, hanging out in Calgary, cheering on his Flames, and retiring with the rest of the Hart Boys, so...
Yeah,
for some reason, I don't see him going to TNA either. I don't know why. I just don't see him.
Yeah, I meant to say Harry Smith was his real name, not David Hart Smith. I just couldn't think of his name here. Next name I have here is Iskashbikeboa, or however you ever say it, Vladimir Kozlov. Do you think he'll be TNA bound?
Nah, I think he's done with wrestling. He might do an independent thing, but I think for the most part, I think he's done with wrestling.
Is there a chance that we can see the Russian Mauler, whatever his name was, in the
Moscow? The Moscow.
The Moscow Mauler in mixed martial arts MMA.
Yeah, I don't see him. Just it might be a possibility, but just I don't know.
All right. Well, next name I have here on the list is Chris Masters. Now, now he said on his Twitter that it's time for him to make an impact somewhere else. I think Chris Masters will I personally think Chris Masters will go to TNA, mostly around Genesis, because that's where, Genesis is where they debut a new star. You look at Matt Hardy, Mr. Kennedy, Jeff Hardy, just to name a couple guys, Booker T. They all debuted at Genesis. Do you think that Chris Masters will go to TNA? And if so, how do you think he'll be utilized in TNA?
I could see him going to TNA. I think they turn him heel. They probably, I have no doubt in my mind they probably turn him heel. I could, to be honest, it's kind of sad, but I could see him beating a great talent like an AJ Styles, putting him over, but then I could see him getting knocked down the ladder by a Van Dam.
No job, Rob.
I kind of agree with Ace. Yeah, I could see Chris Masters, being TNA. Kind of like I could see him as a heel, kind of like, and kind of like some weird comparison, kind of maybe like a Gunner, a big, kind of tough guy. He beats kind of like the big talent, but then all of a sudden, in a few months later down the road, you might kind of forget about him a little bit.
Yeah, that could possibly definitely happen. And last, but certainly not least, our favorite WWE diva of all time, just kidding when I say that, Melina. Now, I definitely think Melina does have a chance of going into TNA. Now, I think it'll be a good fit for her. I think they could kind of rekindle a flame with her and Mickie James. Maybe they can mix some more magic there. Not that kind of magic.
I do see Ben TNA. She'll be in TNA, and then I think Morrison will go to he gets released, which we all know is coming eventually.
Do you think Melina's gonna wait for? Do you think Melina's gonna wait for John Morrison? Oh baby, we're gonna go there.
Sadly, I think she will wait for John Morrison. She's gonna wait till Morrison's contract expires. Okay, babe, let's go sign TNA. The Universal Studios, and they go down there. And when Melina goes sign with TNA, she's gonna get the Mickie James / Gil Kim push. She's gonna get pushed just like that, and next thing you know, she's gonna be Knockouts champion.
Oh, baby!
I guarantee Melina will go to TNA, and then Morrison will be in WWE while she's in TNA for a bit, and then Morrison will be like, fuck this, and he'll either leave or his contract will expire.
Or he'll find her and say, oh my god, that brings us to another point. I'm sorry, I gotta go back to Raw real quick. John Morrison and fucking Miss Piggy, that was one of the worst fucking segments I've seen in a long time.
That was so random.
No, he's like, I have a match. God! I'm sorry, the Muppets, they pissed me off.
Cody Rhodes coming in there bagging Kermit the Frog was pretty funny.
Oh, Jesus Christ. God! Alright, but anyway, I think that Melina will go to TNA. And if she doesn't go to TNA, maybe she'll do porn like Maurice. Alright guys, we'll be right back. We're going to take a 5-minute break. We're going to take our final 5-minute break. And when we do come back, we will be taking your questions live on the air. So get your questions ready. Ask us anything, preferably about wrestling. But ask us anything about the World Professional Wrestling. TNA, ROH, WWF, WWE, WCW, AWA, NWA, WCCW. You get the picture. Alright guys, we'll be right back on Guru Wrestling Talk on Ustream. Alright guys, and we're back on Guru Wrestling Talk on Ustream. And it's about that time, guys. It's about for fan-friendly time. And basically, what that is, if you don't know, if you sign up and join our account on Ustream, you can ask us questions live on the air. And let's go and take our first question. Our first question comes from Rebel Rocka. Do you think DirecTV will ever carry Ring of Honor? Now, I have Dish Network. Okay, if you have your local stations on DirecTV, and if you live in the area where DirecTV carries Ring of Honor, if you have a St. Clair Broadcasting on DirecTV, then to answer your question, yes. It just depends on the area that you live in. I mean, if I were to have DirecTV, then yes. What?
I mean, for instance, for some unknown reason in Canada, I've got Shaw. I think I get Ring of Honor like Sunday nights at 10 p.m.
Yeah, something like that. That's why I have like 9 or 10 p.m. here for the Ring of Honor.
I don't have Ring of Honor either at all here, so it's kind of like a bummer. Yeah, it's kind of hard to pick up Ring of Honor.
Yeah, Ring of Honor. Yeah, and then guys, if it's hard for you to find Ring of Honor, if you go to ringofhonor.com, you can watch. You can watch Ring of Honor there.
Honestly, most diehards, like especially for Ring of Honor, most diehard Ring of Honor fans will tell you that the weekly shows, you don't have to watch them, you can just watch the pay-per-views. Most Ring of Honor fans will tell you that anyway, so if you're really interested in Ring of Honor, just stream it or pay for the pay-per-view. It's only $15, so it's better than WWE charging $45.
Definitely. Alright guys, next question here comes from Kuda. Wait, how you say that? Kudakris? Is that how you say it?
I think it's Kudakris, yeah, if I'm not mistaken.
It sounds like a black person. Anyway, what is your favorite Halloween moment in WWE?
Oh God.
Well, in WWE or in wrestling? Well, guys, do y'all want to give your thoughts on that? I'll let y'all guys go first for that.
I haven't seen too many Halloween moments, like, You guys remember when Mickey James dressed up like Trish Stratus? That was pretty funny.
I remember that.
Oh God, that was kind of spooky in a way.
That was great when they made Out Under the Mistletoe too.
That was that's not Halloween.
That was Christmas, but
you know my mistletoe was erect when I saw that. Oh, I can't see that.
Think about
There's so much for a PG show.
And they built a women's feud for months until the blow off at WrestleMania. Months.
Yeah.
Like, wow.
Okay.
Well, for me, I mean, I remember that one SmackDown that it was like John Cena. I think John Cena was still a heel. He had to rap and whatever.
Yeah.
He was dressed up like in the Elvis type of thing. He was like just trying to rapping and stuff. And Steph McMahon, she found Eric Bischoff, but Eric Bischoff was dressed up as Vince McMahon and stuff. I just thought that was kind of like a
when he kissed her. Yeah.
Oh yeah. How about John Cena as Vanilla Ice?
That was funny as hell.
Yeah, when
I found that hilarious.
John Cena as Vanilla
back
Ice.
when I found John Cena entertaining.
But I mean, other Halloween moments in wrestling. Of course, you have your Halloween Havocs. I'm pretty sure I already spoke about that already. Then you have stuff that happened to AWA and NWA as well, and yeah. Well, anyway, next question is, what are your direct thoughts on the indie circuit coming from Cooter? I can't say his name; it's too urban. My thoughts on the indie circuit is good. It's always good to have the indie circuit in wrestling. You know there are some guys out there who still love wrestling for what it is. They don't go down to a factory and just talk this way and wrestle this way and you'll get over in WWE. At least there are some people out there, still doing wrestling what it's supposed to be.
Like everybody's favorite promotion, the AWE.
Yeah, AWE, Awesome Wrestling Entertainment. Guys, if you don't know about Awesome Wrestling Entertainment, look it up. You got Kevin Nash, Perry Saturn, Rock and Roll Express. Hacksaw Jim Duggan. You got all those guys there. Yeah, and Lita's there, too. It's an independent promotion.
Subscribe to their YouTube channel.
Yeah, subscribe to their YouTube channel.
Follow them on Twitter. Like them on Facebook.
They're good kids.
Alright. Hey, y'all thoughts on the indie circuit?
Like I said, it's always nice for an alternative. Obviously, will those stars ever get caught up? One never knows. Only for what the future holds. But I think it is always nice to, have that alternative to, if you're sick of puppets, for instance, or Hogan's bullcrap, you can just watch a nice wrestling match. So I like the indie circuit.
Yeah, I don't mind indies at all. I mean, I try to get into it, like with ROH and stuff. Hell, I even a lot of people don't know this, but I kind of watched at times AAA Mexico. You really try to watch that stuff.
Oh yeah, that's some great stuff. That and stuff in Japan too.
But
yeah, that and stuff in Japan too is just absolutely.
It's good. You get tired of it, and guys like Jeff Hardy and
Jeff over there again.
I think Jeff Jarrett, is still the Triple H.
It's Jeff Jarrett? Nah.
Still the champion.
Great man he is. Fuck.
Whoa! Calm down, hot shot. Come on, Jeff Jarrett. I mean, he's good and everything, but you don't have to make a man love for him,
Man, Jeff Jarrett is a great superstar.
He's a great man. No, we don't need that on this show, guys.
Look at his whack Karen.
Just a little bit, but he's kind of a queer. I'm not gonna lie.
But you know what though? Like, not
He's the king of the mountain, guys.
Not too many people like this, but I like Jeff Jarrett's MMA gimmick because he took it so seriously. It was just hilarious.
That was stupid. That goes back to fucking reality, but whatever. It was good for what it was.
No. I was entertained.
He's king of the mountain.
No. I was entertained by it. I thought it was funny, but I thought it was still ridiculous, though. All right, next question comes from Boy Wonder 2889V2. Why are you guys so gay? Well, for me, I mean, I like being happy. I'm very happy all the time.
I always get happy when I watch wrestling, so that's why I'm pretty good.
I'm probably one of the gayest people you'll ever meet. I am so happy.
Me too, and especially when the Leafs win, even though they're not doing it right now. I'm the gayest man in the world when the Leafs win.
They sure so gay.
You're gonna have specials. You're gonna have maybe. Okay, I know you guys don't get it in America, but maybe they'll put vintage collection there. You know.
You Canadians and your TV programming, you're so...
God damn it, seriously, you guys are freaking swell.
I know.
Okay, here's the thing about
you ruin the wrestling industry, you Canadians.
We get Raw 15 minutes late, and we do get 2 extra replays, including right after Raw is done, and the next...
No, they get good Canadian programming.
We've still got NXT. We can watch NXT on Wednesday nights, and I believe it is 5 o'clock. We get SmackDown from 5 to 7 and then 9 to 11. We get Vintage Collection on Saturdays from 4 to 5. Then we get WWE Experience on, Sundays from 4 to 5 as well. And the big thing about that is we get it all on one channel, the Square, baby. Woo!
Alright, well...
Yeah, but here's the thing, Ace. You may get good wrestling collection, like all these shows, but your wrestlers get screwed out.
Yeah, every Canadian wrestler gets fucked with in one way or another.
Well, let's look at the past few Canadians who got screwed. Christian, screwed. Bret Hart, screwed. Christian
Bobby Roode at Bound for Glory.
Yeah. Bobby Roode got screwed at Bound for Glory. You know who else got screwed? Owen Hart. He shouldn't have had to climb those rafters.
You know what? Another person that got screwed. I won't say his name, but that guy that killed his family. Oh man, what a douchebag!
Like Lord Baltimore, he shall not be named.
Yeah. All right. Next question is oh my god, I can't believe I'm about to ask this question, but what is your favorite moment from WrestleMania 11 by the this Kudakris kid? I don't know who this is, but this guy, he's asking a lot of questions.
He's such a deer. Why do we keep this kid in our...
I don't know.
We gotta find out where this kid is, like hunt him alive.
We're gonna get him. You know what? We're gonna get the Kudakris on next week. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna rip him a new asshole inside out.
We are. And to answer your question, the first one of my favorite WrestleMania 11 moments, my favorite WrestleMania 11 moments is probably when LT held his hands up, because I knew there was only a few more minutes left of the show.
Well, what about you, Chris?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, that WrestleMania was, to me, it was, decent WrestleMania. So, I mean, it's kind of hard to pick, what was, my favorite moment, But seriously, with this Kudakris and his questions, it's just like, it makes me more interested in who the hell this kid is.
Yeah, like some homo with no life.
Exactly.
Has to be.
Right.
Well, anyway, my favorite moment for WrestleMania 11 is when it ended.
I wonder if he's Canadian.
Ended. I cannot stand WrestleMania 11. It's the worst WrestleMania of all time. If you guys have not seen WrestleMania 11, 1995, from the Hartford Civic Center. The Hartford Civic Center, first of all, was in a mall. Okay? The Hartford Civic Center was in a mall. Okay, you had fucking technical issues, you had delays for fireworks, you had bad audio, you had fucking, cameramen everywhere, the wrestlers couldn't make their normal entrance. It's just piss poor. Hate WrestleMania 11.
Pamela Anderson was there.
Oh, fuck, you know what? Her boobs are fake.
Canada's own Pamela Anderson.
She's actually from Vancouver Island, believe it or not.
You know what, look.
Hey, boy.
I wish I wish WrestleMania 11 wasn't part of the collection anymore. I just wish they just get all the WrestleMania DVDs and burn them. Alright, next question comes from RKO16. Who is, he said is, not in your personal opinion, but he says is the greatest talker in WWE history? I'm gonna let Chris, you can start off with that one. Who is the greatest talker in WWE history?
Wow. You came.
That was a good question. You came with a good one there. So
there's so many names. You can go so many different guys just popped in my head. I mean,
yes.
You can look at guys like Triple H. You can look at guys like The Rock. You can look at Stone Cold Steve Austin. You can look at Triple H. You can look at Ted DiBiase Sr. You can look at Ric Flair. You can look at Hulk Hogan. It's just you can just go anywhere with this. Really, I think in history, there's just so many names.
If I had to pick one, the obvious choice, of course, a lot of people would say is Piper, maybe The Rock, but I remember, I believe it was with you once, Justin. We were watching old promos from wrestling, and you know what guy scared me into wanting to watch a pay-per-view? Harley Race.
Harley Race, yes.
My goodness. That man, like, when he spoke, I looked into his eyes, and, like, I felt this passion burning.
You know what? And as you did bring up a good point there, Harley Race is one of the greatest talkers of all time. Now, I can't just pick now on my greatest talkers list. I believe I did pick The Rock at number 1 on my greatest talkers list. Now, but this brings you to the fact of some of the other guys. You got guys like Dusty Rhodes, the Dwayne. If you look at a Dusty Rhodes promo, if you're one of these wrestling fans say, "Oh, The Rock, The Rock, The Rock, The Rock, The Rock," check out Dusty Rhodes. Check out Harley Race. Check out Jake the Snake Roberts. Check out Michael Hayes. Stone Cold Steve Austin.
What about Ted DiBiase Sr.?
Ted DiBiase as well. Hell, Bobby the Brain Heenan. Another great talker.
Euchre. Who could forget Bob Euchre?
Hell, Ric Flair.
Yeah,
Man, so many people overlook Ric Flair.
And Ric Flair as well. And definitely.
To be the man, you have got to beat the man.
Absolutely Ric Flair. Absolutely Ric Flair. Definitely.
He's a wrestling god. He's a wrestling god.
I'm a god right now.
But that question itself is kind of hard to answer because there's so many.
Yeah.
Like I said, you got your Harley Races, you got your Ric Flairs, you got your Michael Hayes. Oh God, guys, look at Michael Hayes. Michael Hayes. When he was doing the promos back in WCCW, just amazing promos that he did. Him and Terry Bam Bam Gordy, the Fabulous Freebirds, back in 82, 83, when they were building the feud with the Von Erichs. Great stuff. Very, very underrated talker. Good, very, very good question, RKO16. Very good question. Ask some more. Now, next question here comes from Ultimate Death Wish. I'm going to take about, let's see here. We're going to take about probably this last question here, or probably these last 2 more questions here, and we're going to go ahead and say goodbye. The second to last question here comes from Ultimate DW. Does WWE need to make NXT a brand that highlights jobbers and drop the rookie thing? And do you think WWE needs to end the super shows? Now, it's 2 questions here. Now, the NXT question, here's my thing. Get rid of NXT completely. Get rid of it completely. It's a joke. The first 2 seasons were good. I like the first 2 seasons. Get rid of NXT completely and have those guys split them up to put them on Raw and SmackDown and build up new stars from there. Most of those guys shouldn't be in wrestling. Most of them, in my opinion.
Honestly, with what it is right now, if I was the WWE, I still, of course, you're always going to have Raw and SmackDown, and Superstars is that show to highlight, like you were saying, the talent. But it's the only good part about NXT is, okay, if you watch Superstars, the show of jobbers, most people like to so bluntly put it, if you're going to watch that, then, they don't have any rivalries. At least with NXT, they have jobbers with rivalries, because, you need to have a reason why you're wrestling. To be honest, I wish like every 2 months or so, or every 3 months, I wish they kept doing Saturday night's main event on NBC. Like,
Exactly.
if they got rid of NXT, they still had superstars. You could build towards Saturday night's main event. You know, hell, I mean, superstars is already on the internet. Why not make superstars 2 hours and just cut the crap from NXT? You could take superstars on Tuesdays.
I don't know. Okay. Screw NXT. Chris, you want to add anything to this? Just pretty much.
But Joe likes NXT.
So we're on vacation right now, though, so we don't get the NXT update.
Oh yeah, we're not doing our jobs right now. Sorry, Joe. If you're listening to this via
mobile, job.
If you're listening to this via mobile, I did not do my job this week, and now Joe just threw his phone across the road, and now he's pissed off. Sorry, Joe. But let's answer the second question, and so we can go ahead and wrap up here. Do you think WWE needs to end the Super Shows? Absolutely not. No way, no how. If anything, they need to add the Raw stars on SmackDown. And it doesn't have to be guys like John Cena, Alberto Rio, CM Punk. Those guys not necessarily. But if you were to put like Dolph Ziggler, which they're already doing already, looks like Dolph Ziggler, Air Boom, Zack Ryder. Which it will work out more that way, in my opinion. If you have the lesser talent from Raw on SmackDown every week, which they are doing.
I would agree with that, but the thing is, if you put the big stars, because more people watch Raw, if you put the big stars from Raw and announce that they're going to be on SmackDown, more people would watch it. And I think to be honest, I think SmackDown needs to be live on Tuesday nights. I think SmackDown's live.
Nah, but you know what though? They're not going to do that, because if you do that back to back, because not too many people know that. I would like to see that. Don't get me wrong, but think about. It costs a lot more money to do a show live on television.
Yeah, that's true.
It costs a lot more money for WWE. So rather than having them doing the show live, they can just do it on Thursday or Fridays. And, and let's mind you, SmackDown was always recorded for years and years and years, and nobody had a problem with that before. So they can still build it back up to what it was before, but we just need to care about it enough. So...
Yeah.
That's just my thing. Chris?
The way you look at it is that, okay, with, it just, honestly, it's stuff like, NXT and stuff. Like, honestly, I don't care about NXT. I used to care about NXT, not so much now, type of do. More of a superstar has, I just think the superstars, that's like a show right there that, it's you get your you don't get any promos or anything, but you just get straight up wrestling matches.
Right.
That's good. See,
I wish there was.
I get where Ace is saying that you need a robber and stuff, and usually you get build up and stuff instead of just being some random ass matches. I understand.
If Tyson Kidd beats Trent Beretta on Superstars and they haven't talked or have no reason for fighting, why should I care? If you got Tyson Kidd backstage being like, "Oh, you are no good talent, Trent, and I'm going to take you out in the ring," like not even backstage promos, interviews. I missed the other interviews.
Well, you know what?
Todd Grisham here with John.
Yeah, but Superstars right now is kind of like what stuff like Velocity, like Sunday Night Heat. Then you occasionally had like your promos and backstage stuff, but it still wasn't like a lot of it back in the day,
Yeah, but in this day and age, I think it's kind of a necessity, because back then you knew who everybody was if you were a casual fan. Now though, who knows who the fuck Tyler Rex is if you just watch Raw and SmackDown?
Well, no, they know Tyler Rex because they say, "Oh, is that Matt Hardy?" Because they both have the.
Oh God, no!
You just don't stop with those jokes, there, Justin.
I know. What are these jokes that you're putting?
You know what? I think
what are they putting down the fire at San Antonio?
This is the last show because I'm gonna kill myself after this because my jokes are not working. God, I'm such a failure.
Why are you so gay, Justin? Go back to Boy Wonder's question. Why are you so gay?
That's what happens when you're the only black member in the GOG. You just become...
Oh, and not to mention that I'm not noticed either. Okay, anyway, guys.
Wow.
Well, that is it for Guru Wrestling Talk. I'd like to thank Chris Phoenix being our special guest tonight. Hope you had fun, Chris, and Ace the Wrestling Night here. And, that's pretty much it. Again, guys, add us on Facebook, facebook.com/Gurus of Greatness. Twitter at GOG for live. And if you're viewing us here on Skype, yes, we do make videos on YouTube. Go ahead and click that subscribe button on YouTube on youtube.com/The Gurus of Greatness. And for me, Anchor Breaker J2 here, the man with the plan, Chris Phoenix, and Ace the Wrestling Nut.
Yes, sir.
We'll see you later. Y'all guys have a great week coming up. No Muppets this week. Peace out, guys.